One of the things that we often have incomings on is people have a go heroes about the statutory residence test. And quite often it starts with the whole, well, I haven't spent 182 days in the UK, so I must be fine. And then we start explaining that it's significantly more complicated than that. What this little short focuses on, though, is one that really does get missed by people. And that's what's called the second automatic UK test. Laura, tell us what that is and how it works.
So the second automatic UK test is about having your only home in the UK. And where it tends to catch people out is it's not looking at the whole tax year. It's looking at a 91-day consecutive period, of which only 30 days need to fall within the tax year. And during that period, you have, you spend at least 30 days in your home in the UK. And during that period, you have effectively your only home in the UK, or no homes overseas other than homes at which you spend fewer than 30 days per tax year. So it's a bit of a nuanced one. There's a bit of a tricky one, but I think that one, along with the third automatic UK test, which is full-time work inside of the UK, these are tests that are designed to catch people who are either leaving the UK during the tax year or arriving in the UK during the tax year. And for that purpose, they are not looking at the full tax year. They are looking at, at either end of the tax year, were you?
And it's probably worth. We've recently had some proper dealings with this, haven't we? So we had a client who was looking to become UK tax non-resident right at the start of the tax year. She wasn't going to go and work overseas. She wanted to keep her UK home.
Yeah.
So no split year was available, and so the clock was ticking because her only home. She'd had a home for 91 consecutive days. It's like if you are in the UK for 30 days before you have a home elsewhere, you are tax resident for the whole year and there's nothing you can do about it because you've ticked past that 30 days.
Yeah.
And so it is that thing, isn't it, where people often miss this one because people are, I want to go and live overseas and I want to have a home somewhere else. And it's like, it's fine if you're going to go and work overseas because then you can get full-time work overseas. But if you're not working, it's like, well, you're tax resident for the whole year. And often these people, if they're wealthy, they're living off passive income. It's like, well, that's just going to be taxed in the UK.
Yeah. Yes.
So it's always one to really be careful about.
Definitely.
And the other thing I often find interesting is, not that interesting, obviously, is that whole point that because we have a split year setup in the UK, we often can get into that habit of thinking, don't worry, it's not like Spain where you're either resident or you're not resident. It's like you can split your year. But actually the split year outbound circumstances are quite nuanced and specific.
Yeah.
And like, I always think the interesting one is ceasing to have a home, because that really does show you're leaving. But of course, one of the things that a lot of wealthy people want to do is they want to say, oh, I've got a home in Italy, I've got a home in France, I've got a home in the UK, and then try and sort their taxes position out based on that.
Yeah.
And so if you're going down that route, you really can only relocate outside the UK right at the start of the tax year, or you're always going to get caught by this test.
Yeah. Or you leave midway through, but acknowledge you'll remain UK tax resident until the end.
Until the next.
Unless you become tax resident in another country.
And
we're looking at double duties.
So yeah, it's an important one to be aware of.